Hi, this is Jason Height, and today I want to talk a little bit about some of the updates I want to make to the Dice Tower. First off, I want to say thank you so much. Really, thank you guys so much, everybody who's backed. You're helping this dream of mine come about, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. And I want to make sure that I do the best Dice Tower possible. So, in the past few weeks, months, I've been testing this dice tower. This is the first production sample. So I've been testing it, playing games with it with friends and family and stuff like that. And there's a couple things that I found that I want to change before I go into production on this. And the first thing that I found, here's a D20. So I have some internal stairs you can see right here. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little ledge right there. And that ledge right here, this ledge helps bracket the piece so that when you put it together, when the manufacturer puts it together, it stays. So anyway, what I found happening is that sometimes, and this was not all the time, but occasionally that D20 would stick right there. It's not like it would get stuck; it just would stick, and you'd have to just give it a little love. So that was the first thing I found that I didn't like when using it, and it was, like I said, not often. Still works pretty good most of the time. And number two thing that I didn't like is that you can't see that D20. It's in the tray, but this wall is about 1.5 inches high, and it's a little too high. I'm about 18 inches away, and I can't see it. I can't see what the result is. So I gotta move in. Okay, so I see the result, but I gotta get kind of close to it. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically retooling this thing, readjusting it, and I cut out about 1/2 inch of material at the widest point. It's not that way all the way around because it was already kind of low back here, but I cut out some material, and now I feel like it's much better. Also, I don't know if I've shown anybody this before, but this is how it's assembled. Excuse me. It'll come pre-assembled, but it actually comes apart into 3 pieces. That's how I'm able to do the stairs in there. So another thing that I've added in this one is I put in some actual steps on the bottom. In here, you can't see it in here because it's glued together, but it's all smooth. You can't in there. So I like the smoothness of it, and they were coming out really fast, but I was also worried that if they missed some of the internal structures inside, they might just land smoothly and just slide out and not actually turn. So the stairs kind of force it to turn. And the next thing that I did that's different in this one is this right here, this hole, it stops. In this one, I actually want to make it so that there's an actual through hole there. So you can kind of see it. And I put a couple of other through holes. There's one there and there's one right there. And there's a couple over here. And I think that that's important because that will help to illuminate what's going on inside of it and just add an extra feature that I think is neat. And then the last thing that I did is, in order to keep those dice from sticking, the solution was to make the stairs wider. So now it's impossible for those. Here, I'll just do this. The dice can't stick anymore, and I added some cool extra sculpted feature to kind of match this outside detail. I sculpted this inner, gosh, I cannot get that. There we go, you can kind of see it. It's really hard to do this. Right, there we go, right there. So I added this inner detail here that I think is pretty cool. So now, it doesn't stick, and I can see the dice result. Here's that ghostly glow, and I can see it really well from a distance. Even if it's up on this corner here, I can still see what the result is from 18 inches to 2 feet away. So I'm much happier with it. And the other thing I want to talk about is I want to just do a little bit of testing so you guys can see, how well this thing actually performs. I don't think it'll ever be the best, perfect, it won't be able to put any dice through it that you can find, but it's going to do quite a bit, and for the games that I've played with it, it does pretty well. So I'll go right off the bat, and I have some of these really fat dice here. These are from Munchkin. They're D10s. They're score dice. So these are way too big. They will not go through here. This is huge. So yeah, they just get stuck right away. So don't use anything big. So we'll start with that. So these aren't even meant to be rolled anyway. They're just score dice. But anyway, so those won't work. But I have gathered a bunch of other die to demonstrate with, so you can see. I'll start with the one that you guys have already seen before, but this is all 7 of the polyhedral die, including the D6. So all of them came out, no problems. It's all good right there. Some games have a lot of D20s and that kind of thing, so I'll pull my 20s here. So I got a gold 20, a glow-in-the-dark 20, a red 20. We'll start with 4, and we'll just let them go. Those are fine. Here, now let's add another one, 5. Actually, let's do 6 D20s. No problem. What else could we do? Here are some, I think these are 18-inch, 18mm D6s, so no problem with those. But I have noticed if you put a lot through at once of D6s, they can occasionally get clogged. Okay, it didn't happen that time. But they do sometimes. Here's some, these are zombie dice, if anybody's familiar with that. We'll start with these. The D6s tend to clog it a little bit. But I've not experienced any that have not come out. Like, so if it gets stuck, you can't get them out. It's not like they're stuck for good. So let's start with 4. No problems there. Now let's just do all these. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 7. No problems there. So I'm also not dumping them all in at one time. So I'm kind of, let's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's try 12. Let's see what happens there. I want to wreck this thing on camera. Okay, there we go. So that's just too many die to put in at once. So I got out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so it just, because of the tray, it clogs it up a little bit. So I guess I don't really put that many through. The most I would normally put through in a game might be 6. So some of these got a little stuck in there. So you can clog this thing up. Absolutely, you can mess this thing up if you put too many die in at one time. If I were to do the same amount of dice, let's see if I can do this again. But actually, this time I won't drop them all in at once. I'll just do a little at a time. Yeah, they just, because they're not moving. Yep, I broke it again. I broke it. So I guess what I'm saying is just don't put a ton of die in there. I don't think it can handle a dozen of these. However, you can put 20. The Cthulhu. I have the Cthulhu Wars dice, and there's like 20 little black ones like this, which I couldn't find because I used them last time, and now I don't know where I put them. But anyway, I put 20 of these through. You can see it in another video. Those went fine. So the smaller ones are fine. Also want to give a quick shout out to Critical Hit Collectibles. I bought some dice from them. These are pretty cool. And I'll put their link in the description of this video, but I bought these from them. Nice die, nice polyhedrals. These are glow in the dark that I'm picking up right here, and these ones are mineral vein, so if you put them up to the light you can see kind of like a vein of clear in them. They're pretty cool. So anyway, thanks guys for those. A couple of other things I wanted to do on camera just for the heck of it was we're going to pull a bunch of D12s because those are big fat dice. So let's start with 4. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's go 5, 6 D12s. Let's go 7. Oh, yep, there we go. They all get stuck. So eventually, sometimes they can get stuck right there if you roll a bunch of them. So it's designed to filter the dice so that they go down. These sidewalls do filter them down, but occasionally they do get stuck. But let's do a couple more tries. And like I said, this is no... I never have ever rolled this many D12s in a game. But I know you can in some damages for D&D, like big monsters. So let's just do... let's stick with 4. Then I'll go 5. Oops. Oh, look at that. Not one came out. This is bad. Everybody's going to cancel their pledges now. I know it. Defective dice tower. So as long as what I found, as long as I don't dump them all in at one time and just kind of, they're fine. It's when you just flood the thing, that's when it can't, you know, it's just gravity and geometry at work here. So I'm a sculptor. I am not a mathematician, so I don't know. There probably is a better way of doing it. Let's do some more D20s. I love D20s. Yeah, those all came through, I think. Let's see. Yep, they're all good. So anyway, again, this will all be painted and assembled. You won't be able to take it apart like this, although I did consider doing it this way. That way it would make shipping cheaper. But I'd rather you not have to glue it all together yourself, because that, you know, if you don't glue it right, it could cause problems. But these brackets here, you see I've got these little brackets on the inside. This is what keeps each level secure, so it doesn't really turn too much. I mean, you could even play without gluing it together, but as soon as you pick it up, you know, it could fall, and I don't want it to break. So I thought it'd be easier to just have everything glued together, so you could, so you don't have to worry about it. You just pull it out of the box, and you're good to go. So anyway, I hope you like it, and show your friends, show your family, show your game stores. And as soon as we hit the 22K mark, then you get some free custom dice that are designed to look like this, inspired by the Zidloff-Beksinski kind of look. This decayed dice is what I'm calling them. So thanks again, everybody, and I can't wait to get these to you guys. All right, peace.